Hey guys, I'm here with Robert Bear Cedeno, and today we're going to talk about realtors and what they could do to improve their social media. That's one. And two, some of Robert's history and how he became a realtor. Yeah, bro. So the podcast always is like you're saying about relationships, which is true. You know, like I met JR. I just DM'd him, bro, and I said, "Fuck, let's shoot a podcast." So he came on mine, I got on his, and then it's like he wanted to meet Thatch. I'm like, "I got you, bro." And you know, it's like you could genuinely feel when somebody is like cool and good, you know. Like so, I'm very like when it comes to social media, bro, I'm very wary on who I talk to.
Okay.
Because if let's say you're a dirtbag, right, and I hang out with you, and I'm not, but just by hanging out together, we both came up. I become a dirtbag too.
By association.
By association, for sure. So it's like, okay, like one thing that like it limits it, like, is the following real?
Yeah.
Because if it's not real, what does that tell me about your ethics?
Yeah. I do like that because you see the people, they have 20,000 views and then they'll have, 3,500 likes. It's like, that's pretty tough.
Yeah. Because you know the real numbers, bro.
Yeah.
So then it's like, okay, the ethics. So if you have a fake following, I'm like, So then I see yours. I'm like, okay, he has views, he has a following, he has a likes. I'm like, okay, like that's just a barrier to entry.
Yeah.
And then I see what you're posting, and I'm like, okay, does he party, family? What is it? You know?
Yeah.
So then I start seeing that. So it's kind of like I really have to be wary with who I bring in because I've gotten that I hang out with the wrong people, bro, and it's like, oh, why were you hanging around with them? It's just like, oh, shit, you know?
Yeah.
So it's a lot of that, bro. And social media, you don't, because everybody shows you the best of them.
Yeah, the highlights.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're right, man. I do have to do a better job of, like, looking at what people are putting out.
Yeah.
Because, we talked about this a little bit earlier about finding, like, the right person to work with. And it's all about their values. And they're putting out, like, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't party, I don't do anything besides, like, spend time with my family and work. Right. And I go to church on Sundays. Every Wednesday I'm there. Like, that's who I am. And it's like, I want to surround myself with people who are doing the same thing. And there's nothing wrong with drinking and smoking and all that. Like, hey, that's your jam. Cool. Like, we can be friends. But I'm just not going to be hanging out with you guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So how many kids you got, bro?
I got 2 kids. I got a 3.5-year-old and a 1.5, and then my beautiful wife, man. So
3.5-year-old boy?
2 boys.
2 boys.
Yeah, Jedediah and Jeremiah.
Damn, dude. So back to back.
Yeah. My wife has a handful, man. Yeah.
Is she full-time at home or?
Full-time at home. Yeah, thank God, man.
That's good, bro. That's good. No, my wife's full-time at home too. We homeschool.
How many kids?
2.
2 kids? Homeschool too, huh?
6 and a 1-year-old, bro. So the one's around, but she's homeschooling a 6-year-old.
Wow, that's awesome. I love that.
It's just, things are a little crazy right now, bro. So I'd rather just, keep it at home and let her. She wants to stay home. She wants to do it. So I said, cool. Like, if you don't want to homeschool, we'll take them to church and they could go there. She's like, no, I'd rather have them here. That's fine.
Yeah, because we talk about money, right? Like, people always talk about, all you want is money. It's like, no, I want options, right? Like, I want to be able to say, hey, my wife's going to stay home with the kids. They're going to get homeschooled. Because now I have control on what's being put into their little minds, right? Because they look at this stuff and they're like, well, yeah, like, they're telling me that I could be a girl and I'm a boy. And it's like, well, that sounds like fun. Like, let me do that, right? And I know that's a whole different conversation, but yeah, I want to be able to control that, bro.
But is it a different conversation, dude?
It could be in any conversation, right?
It's really right now, bro. Like, that's some scary shit, dude. Like, when we're growing up, that didn't happen, dude. How old are you? 30 what?
31.
31. Okay, I'm 35, bro.
Yeah.
So it's like that didn't
no.
You didn't hear that, dude.
No.
And if there was, it's like cool, like whatever. But but it wasn't out there, and now they're pushing for that, which is insane, dude.
Yeah, and like people are easily influenced, right? Like, I know there's a cut with Patrick Bedavid, and he's asking Grant Stephan or whatever his name is about like, oh, were you born a realtor or were you influenced to be a realtor?
Yeah.
Right. And he's like, well, yeah, I was influenced. It's like, what do you think they're trying to do to these kids? It's the same thing, right? They're trying to influence them to be something. And when you're a kid and you have like these hormones going on, like I was talking to, I won't say his name, but I was talking to a buddy the other day. He's like, yeah, when I was growing up, I was like, am I gay? but he's obviously not gay, like, right?
Yeah.
Like he's not. But that thought came up to mind because of something he experienced. And then now when they're saying, hey, this could be you or this should be you.
Yeah.
That's tough, man.
Do you worry about losing business talking about this?
I try not to like put it out there all the time. I've been more of the like I will post it on my stories, right? Now people know what I believe in and what my faith is. I try to keep politics out of my actual page, but I'm not scared of it.
It's crazy, bro, because we all try to keep politics out, but right now politics is the reason why we're in this situation.
Yeah.
You know, like I think we don't talk about it enough, and then it's like, it's funny because I was talking to my mother-in-law last night, and it was my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, and my wife. She's an only child, and we're there having dinner, and I because they're Colombian, so in Colombia there's a far left president right now, and she's so pro Biden, but she's so against the one over there, and I'm like, why is it different? Oh, it's because Biden isn't a leftist. I said they just do it nicely here, but
Yeah, it's the same
but
thing.
it's the same thing.
Yeah, he's far left.
Yeah, he's far. He's the farthest to the left.
Yeah.
And she's like, no. It's because the one over there used to be part of the rogue military and the guerrilla, I guess they call it.
Yeah.
And Biden wasn't a part of any military. And I'm just like, I said, so you're for him here because they promote that they're going to give you guys citizenship. That's the biggest thing why most Hispanics go far left, bro, because they think they're going to get citizenship.
There's ways of still doing it, right? Like we know that.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I can see that. Obviously, talking a little bit about that, like there's a certain person I was going to vote for, and my family was like, my family's Hispanic, and they're like, you're going to vote for them? What if one day they make a law that they're going to, deport your grandma? And I love my grandma, but she had 50 years to figure something out and get her citizenship, and she hasn't. I love my grandma. I don't want her.
You heartless dude. I tell everybody that, man. I'm like, you have time to figure it out.
Yeah.
If you don't have time, you can make more money and still figure it out. Going back to options that make more money.
Yeah, and it's not that I'm heartless, but like there is certain things that you just got to take care of business sometimes, right? If I don't take care of business for my family, I can't. They're not going to eat, right? Now we grew up a different way. We grew up really poor, Section 8. Like we went through all of that, and I appreciate like all of it because like I can kind of look back and be like, okay, we've come a long way, but it's going to take one person in our family to say, hey, all this has to end. Like we can't have this cycle of just being broke-minded, having these tendencies, right? Sleeping with multiple women. It's like, no, I'm faithful to my wife, and I want my kids to do the same thing. So it's like that stops with me, right? Like I'm gonna be that example. So going back to like my grandma, like yeah, she didn't take care of business, but now we're taking care of business.
Yeah.
And I love my grandma, and I hope she doesn't get deported. Just so I'm clear on that. But we gotta take care of business. They were born here. Yeah.
And she was born where? Your grandma?
Guadalajara, or just outside of that, probably like an hour and a half away from there. So Jalisco.
Okay. Yeah. Cool, dude. So your parents are first generation here.
They're first generation.
You're
yeah.
second generation.
I'm second generation.
Got it.
I'm a no sablo kid. You know what I'm saying?
No Spanish?
I do know Spanish.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's just not the greatest.
How's my Spanish, bro? Decent?
Yeah. You're also
first generation.
Oh, okay.
So my parents came from Mexico, and it was Mexico inside my house, and then the U.S. outside.
Yeah.
So that's how it was. That's how it went down, bro.
Yeah. You came home. You had to speak Spanish.
Always.
Yeah. So my first language was Spanish because of my grandma.
Yeah.
But now it's a little bit harder.
No, my son, we only speak to him in Spanish, bro.
That's so smart.
So he goes with the little cousins. English is automatic, but
yeah,
he'll speak to me in Spanish. Which is good, dude.
Yeah.
Okay, switching gears. How'd you become a realtor, bro?
Yeah, I did. I was kind of at a point in my life where I was selling car parts, and I freaking hated it. Like I hated
for a business.
No, like it was like me and my dad were trying to build up a car part business.
Okay.
I really felt like at the time, like God had put that time for us together so we can mend the relationship we never really had.
Okay.
So he's kind of never really been there for me.
Yeah.
And it was great. It was about a year or so we're doing it. But he operated a certain way where it wasn't like a business owner, right? He was cool with having $200 in his pocket, and he's good with that. $20, whatever. And I wasn't. I was like, no, like we got to have like an actual business here. And so we didn't meet eye to eye. I hated doing it. And I was like, I'm just going to go do something else. I'm pretty young still, right? I'm going to go do it. And then I was going to get into like the digital space, digital marketing, all that. Didn't really find, like, I was like, not that good with computers and all that. So my aunt was like, hey, why don't you become a realtor? I was like, I'm not going to become a stupid realtor.
Was
like,
your aunt a realtor?
No, she was working with the lender at the time.
Okay.
I was like nobody likes realtors. Like when we talk about a realtor, like sales, right? Like that's like instantly what you think. And I was like, no way. Like I don't want to be that guy. Met up with a couple of escrow lenders and a realtor, and I was like, well, I got nothing else going on right here. I have saved up a little bit of money. I'm gonna get my license and I'm gonna go full on. So this was 2017. Went full on, man. And
kids weren't around yet?
No, I got my license about a month after I proposed to my wife.
Okay. Still
not making any money. I went like about 8 months without closing the deal. Married my wife in that time. Got down to like $20 in my bank account. It's like $22.
Lovely.
Yeah, and it was just my back was against the wall, and I was like, I'm gonna make this happen.
Isn't it crazy when your back's against the wall? It's like the ideas just go, and you start thinking of a whole bunch of different shit. It's happened to me quite a few times. So it's always like, that's when the best ideas come.
Yeah, man. And you have no choice. It's like, all right, well, it's here. Like, this is the end right here. Like, I have nowhere to go. So I got to figure something out, right?
And isn't it funny how you magically always figure it out?
Something, right?
What if we could get that like every day, dude?
Right? Yeah, put yourself in that state of like, today I'm going to produce.
It's hard.
It is. It is.
So you became a realtor 2017, 2023. What's happened in between?
So I went on and I went like I said, 8 months without closing a deal. So my first real production year was 2018. Got my first closing then. We were married. It was like nice. It was cool. Ended up getting rookie of the year at a pretty decent office in Diamond Bar.
Okay.
So 300 agents, got rookie of the year there. And then
what rookie of the year until?
I sold about like 8 million in volume or something like that. So I made like GCI. I was probably like just short of $100,000.
What's GCI, dog?
Gross commission.
Okay.
Yeah, so gross commission.
Okay.
Right? So it was about $100,000 or so.
Okay. So you took home $100,000.
It was actually probably closer to 90 after splits and everything. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So that got me rookie of the year. And then I was just kind of doing the real estate thing like everybody else, doing open houses. And I was like, I'm going to go all in on social. And I would have people coming to me while I'm doing my videos or like editing them. And back then it was like really hard to edit, right?
Is this pre-pandemic or?
Pre-pandemic,
okay,
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So around 2019.
Okay.
Yeah. So 2019, I'm doing all this and people were coming up to me like, what are you doing? And I'm in my cubicle and I have nothing in my cubicle. And they're like, what are you doing, bro? And I was like, well, I'm editing these videos. They're like, stop messing around with that. You should be cold calling. You should be door knocking, right? And I just remember looking at them and I was like, all right, we'll see, right? Like,
we'll see.
And I'm sitting there with like nothing on my desk because I'm all digital. And yeah, man. So I went all in on social. I did that. And then 2020 came around. I didn't work for like 6 months. And I started posting these reels and my page just started blowing up. And I was like, what the heck?
What was the first reel that went? Because we all remember our first reel that went bam.
Yeah, it was I had helped my cousin and his mother-in-law buy a house. And I was already kind of doing the reels, but I had helped him buy a house and I recorded giving them the keys and they're like walking in with the family and it was really nice. And no one really had done that like for a reel. And it just blew up. I'm like 50,000 views, 100,000. And I was like, oh my gosh, 100,000 views. Like I've gotten like 1,500.
So 100,000 views happens. What happens with the 100,000 views? Like what translates to that?
It just helped me build momentum, right? So now it's like, okay, there's something here. Now I got to double down. So I started doubling down on the content, started doing the home tours. And I felt like I was like one of the first ones to start doing the home tours. And that really took off. I was like linking up with this guy in Texas and we're doing like versus homes and his page is like over 1 million now.
Really?
Yeah. Nava Realty. Like, oh my gosh. Yeah. So me and him were like the first ones that were doing that. Maybe not like actual first ones, but like we're going at it. And obviously his page blew up and I started getting just a flood of people following me, comments, messages where I couldn't keep up with it. And I was like, my God, like, I can't do this. So I stopped, of course, right? And I was working. And then after I was like, no, I got to get back on. So I got back on.
How long did you stop for?
I stopped for like 45 days. I remember. I was just like, I need a break because it was just 4 a.m. to like 11 o'clock at night. Replying.
Okay.
Messages going back and forth.
And let me guess, you felt a little guilty not replying to people?
I did.
Yeah.
And I had 14, 15 pre-approved buyers from social media. So I'm like, what am I going to do with all this stuff? And then it's hard for these buyers to get in because they're lower down payment at the time, right? That's 2021. It's really hard to get into a house. And then so I just threw it out there. I was like, hey, like I need help. I need an agent to come help me. And so I got the first guy to join my team. And then I got like 3 other people to come to my team. They just believed in me, man. I don't know why.
Well, because you had a list of fucking leads, bro. I don't know why. Yeah. Like, hey, here's all these people that are ready to give you money.
Yeah. And yeah, that's how it happened, man. And I just started, I was like, wait, there's something here, right? And then I just doubled down on content. And it's a little different now, but we're still getting like pretty decent leads just because we've built a brand off that already.
What do you mean it's a little different? Like, how so?
Just lead flow, views are down, lead flow are down, followers are down. Like, it's different. But back then,
but you think it's because of the market?
I don't think it's so much the market. I just feel like so many more people are doing it now that it's slowed it down for a lot of us. And before, during the pandemic, people weren't doing anything. They were just on their home scrolling.
Yeah,
it's probably still the case now, but they would just follow everybody. Now people are a little bit more
choosy on what they.
Yeah, they want to follow certain pages, and they'll follow a little bit more. Like, all right, I'm done. Like this guy with the mullet, like I'm done with him.
What's up with the mullet, dude?
It's flowing, brother.
Yeah?
Yeah, man. So,
Did you do that once you became a realtor, or you've always had it?
No, I just started letting it grow like a year and a half ago.
Okay.
I was like, I just want to be myself, man.
Just keep it.
Yeah. And it's just like now people, they see it and they're like, yeah, that's your look. So, and it helps with marketing. Like, they're like, really dude, does. The guy with the mullet, yeah. Or the guy with the beard, like I've always been like, I have a distinct feature, right? Which is literally usually my beard, and now they have the mullet. So like, I do the mullet look, 1, because I like it, and 2, because I know it's gonna like people are gonna remember that. Most realtors, suit, tie, they all look the same. They might have shades, they might come out of their cool car. Most don't have a mullet. You think
that's changed though lately? Like more people are like less suit, tie? Or you still think overall? Because I'm not day to day, it's just from what I observe on the outside, right?
Yeah,
but you as a realtor, like what do you see?
I think more people are getting used to the fact that they don't have to be in a suit and tie anymore. I literally did not go to an office. My old office had merged with another office, and they're like, oh, you got to wear, you got to dress up. And I was like, yeah, I'm not even walking into this. I'm leaving. So I bounced. Yeah. And I was like, I don't, like, people work with me because of me, right? And this is how I dress.
Yeah.
I go to listing appointments, and this is how I'm dressed. Go to listing appointments, I'm wearing an alley hat. That's what I'm doing. My partner, Jeff, my business partner, he wears a backwards hat, and everybody knows him as the backwards hat guy. He's 6'7". He stands out, right?
Little guy.
Yeah, right?
6'7".
Yeah,
shit.
bro. People are like, they're at Disneyland, and they're like, hey, Jeff. They're like calling us at Disneyland, bro. It's like insane.
Is he like social media famous too?
Yeah, like, because he has a new build page, which is really popular. And then, like, it's just us together. Like, they know us that we're business partners, and it's like the tall guy and the short guy with the mullet, and it's just like that's why they look at us. So
yeah. So do you help realtors do this stuff, bro?
I do.
What do you do with that?
Yeah. So I mean, I help people scale because it took us forever to learn how to scale and do social media the right way. People think that social media is done with I look cool, right? Look at my car. It's not that way anymore.
It was 6-7 years ago.
It was.
Yeah.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, what car? I rolled up in a 2011 Mazda 3 right now, right? And I'm still selling $1 million homes. I'm selling all this in volume. That doesn't matter anymore, right? And so I want to help agents understand that all the external stuff doesn't matter. It's like, how can you get your systems down, right? If you focus on the systems, right, it's gonna take you far, right?
Everybody talks about systems. Give me like a real example of one system you have that it's like, okay, this is what it is, and this is what realtors could do.
Yeah. One system right now, I would say, man, that's actually a really good question because I feel like it's just not one, but I'll give you an example.
Yeah.
Right now, when we're doing this podcast, somebody is being called. There's a video being posted for me. There's a comment being like commented to, right? Or responded to, I should say. There's a message being sent out. There's a realtor showing for me right now as we're doing this podcast. So those are the systems that we've built out. I don't have to do all the editing. I don't have to do all the responding, right? I don't have to do all the outbound. I have an ISA, right? Inside sales agent. That's making the calls.
Giving me all the terms, bro. ISA.
Yeah. So we have all these systems in place that help us get to 100 deals. That's going to help us get to 300 deals.
So does this guy call, hey, I'm here, I'm Joe calling on behalf of Robert or something like that? Or
yeah, so we have our script. It's real simple, right? We have 4 different ways we get leads: text in, Calendly, DMs, and website leads. So text in, real simple, right? Hey, this is Robert with the Cedeno Realty team. I seen that you had text in about this home in the city of Riverside. Just calling to see if you got all the information. Boom. Yes, I did. Great. Looking to purchase in the area, right? So like that, he has a script that he goes off.
Okay.
If it's
live text.
A text or phone call, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And then so I think if you're a realtor right now and to say like one system that you have to get down is your CRM. If you figure out your CRM, right, with a database of getting people in and you get that down, like you're already ahead of 85, 90% of the realtors out there. Because I could go back to my database and I know exactly what's going on, right? And I can make automations where if they don't answer my call, I send them to attempted contact. And then now for the next 4 days, they're going to get 3 messages and an email because they didn't answer my call. I don't have to do any of that. But that's all through the CRM.
The CRM sends it out automatically.
Automatically on my behalf.
Yeah.
It's my business line.
So it looks like it's...
Yeah, it looks like it's me. They don't... Nope. It's rare that people have my actual personal number.
Got it.
It's all through the CRM. All the messages, everything from open to close is CRM.
What CRM would you recommend?
Lofty.
Lofty? Is that like specifically for agents?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So it used to be called Chime, but now it's Lofty.
And it's agent only CRM?
Or
no, I'm sure.
I'm sure you could use it, but
like, can I use it in the construction business, for example?
I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could do a bunch of campaigns on there. You could do it. It might not be a bad idea.
Yeah, we have one, but I think we need something more robust. And then the same thing. It's our turnaround time's a lot longer, right?
Correct.
Our sales cycle's a lot longer.
So is ours.
Yeah.
It could be anywhere from 30 to 6 months, 30 days to 6 months for new construction. But yeah.
Like once they're interested, 30 to 6 months?
Or even if just locking them into like getting them to put a deposit, like their houses could be built in like 6 to 9 months sometimes.
Bro, so you're selling stuff that hasn't even been done yet. Yeah.
So we have, for next year, we have 26 open escrows already for the first few months of next year.
For dirt.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's killer, bro.
Yeah. And the thing is, obviously, we won't get paid till it closes, but we just keep stacking them up, right?
Yeah.
So we have, I don't know, I think we're going to have like 17 closings this month, and it's just all from like months ago.
So are you like the preferred agent for this builder, or how does that work? No,
we're not. We just market to buyers, and then we take them to the builder that we think that would fit them best. Now we have relationships with these builders. So we have one guy on our team. His name's Eddie. He's a team member. He's a killer, bro.
Yeah.
Yes. He's probably going to close like 40, 50 units next year just on his own. And new construction, and everybody knows him. All the builders are like, oh, Eddie brought the client, do whatever he needs. Like,
really?
Yeah. He has that relationship because they know we're going to bring people in. So we've built some really good relationships. We sat down with the VP of Lancy, like kind of talking about how we can do this a little bit better, because we are losing clients to builders. Like, just naturally, they just go without us.
Like directly to the builder.
Yeah, and there's nothing we can do from there. Even if they call us after, like, hey, I'm about to put a deposit. Can you represent me? We can't. It's done.
Really?
Yeah.
The builder will say no?
The builder will say no. You have to be there for the first visit.
What's one thing you think agents could do better, bro, overall?
I would say find something that works for you and just commit, right? Because we're all trying to do the social media. We're all trying to do the cold calling, the open houses. Stick to one thing first, right? Don't try to do 10 things, because those 10 things are not going to work for you. Because if you're going to do open houses and you're a brand new agent and that's what you want to do an open house 5 times a week, Why wouldn't you? Like
take your buyers to the open house?
no, sit at an open house and say, hey, I got this house to sell, right? Like ask one of a listing agent or something if you can hold an open house and do that, right? If you're gonna cold call, but do that. Don't try to do all these other things just because somebody told you it's gonna work. If you're gonna do social media, do it all the way. Don't go and say, okay, I'm gonna post 3 times a week. It's like you post 3 times a week, we post, 7 times a day.
Yeah.
Who's gonna win, right?
And I feel like social media right now, it's the easiest thing to do. So most people are trying to do it now. Yeah. But if you're somebody that's already been doing it, you just have the reps already. So it's like you're going to beat the person that's barely going to start off automatically.
And the person that's just starting off can catch up and build their own little community if they're consistent enough. It's just a consistency, man. Like we look at all these realtors. There's not much, like you could do a couple edits here and there to change it up, right? Like we're not the best looking dudes, but we're consistent.
What do you think makes you stand out, bro? Like on social, like why would people follow you?
Because I'm consistent.
Yeah.
That's it. It's just the consistency of my content. I think people appreciate the just being genuine, right? Like I talk openly about the car that I drive. I talk openly about the little house that I've been living in for the past 3 years, 480 square foot back house, right? It's just focusing on putting everything back into the business. And I talk about that and I'm open about it. I don't put up a front, right? I have nice shoes and that's about it. Like, that's it. But everything else, $10 shirt, jean jacket, $40, whatever. Like, I think people appreciate that, man. So
real.
It's real, 100%. And my values, I think a lot of people will follow because of the values as well. So.
Dude, my mentor bought 10 houses before he moved out of his parents' house.
Damn, that's crazy. See, I'm not at that level yet.
But that's what I mean. Like these sacrifices, and they're real, bro. Like people think it's just like, oh, I'm living in this mansion because I'm a realtor, and it's like most of them are probably not, dude. Most of them are probably even still renting and not even owning.
And a lot of realtors right now, I mean, I hate to say it, but a lot of them are struggling to make their car payments right now of their, $1,300 Mercedes, BMW payment. I got 0 payments right now, bro.
Fuck, $1,300 for
oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Damn.
Plus maintenance. Can you imagine? It needs new tires, brakes.
Oh yeah.
So, it's not about the front. Nobody cares.
Not anymore, dude.
Mm-mm.
I don't even think back then. I just think it was harder to see through people back then, because you weren't that exposed on social media.
Yeah.
But now it's like you can see right through that crap,
Yeah.
You just bought a house.
Yeah.
Tell me about that. How did it go? Give me where it's at, the size, and why that house.
Yeah, I bought in Ontario. Not a big house. It's 1,335 square feet.
Okay.
So we're redoing the whole thing. I bought it because it was a good deal, and I was gonna help the seller gain a little bit more than they would have with an investor.
Okay.
So just a little bit. So it was a win-win for both of us. They needed to get out ASAP, and I'm like, I wasn't looking for a home, but like I'm cool with this house. Right. So nice little 2-story home. And just an opportunity came up. And I think in the back of my mind, we talk about a market crash, right? And most people are waiting for that market crash. And I thought the same thing for a while. And now I'm looking at it, I was like, I actually don't see it coming. I could be wrong, but it's like once the interest rates drop, people are just going to flood the market. And then there's going to be people who can never buy a house. And I looked at myself as like, I'm going to make a certain amount of income eventually and I'll be able to buy whatever house I want. But right now, like my wife, she's sacrificed enough already where if we can get her in a little house, throw, 70 grand at it or whatever to fix it up the way she likes it. Why not? Like I can afford it. Right.
Yeah.
But I've always been the type where it's like, I'm willing to give it up. I'm willing to give
everything up.
Yeah. To be able to win later. And my wife is too. She's been supportive, but they're like, we live in a 480 square foot back house right now, bro. 1 bedroom. It's me and my wife on a bed. It's we don't even have a crib for my son.
An ADU?
It's like an ADU, bro. Yeah. Exactly.
Uh-huh.
And then it's like at a foot at our bed, it's like my son's playpen. He's not even in a crib. And then my son's still in a crib. He's 3.5 years old. Like he shouldn't be in a crib anymore, but that's the bed he has right now. But because I'm just willing to wait. And I'm willing to put it out there, and I know I'm going to reap the benefits later, bro. Like,
You're willing to do that to your kid? Oh my God. Bro.
I know.
When three grown ass fucking men lived in one room, bro. Me and my two brothers. That's the way it was. And it was cool, bro. People think like now it's like, oh, it's the worst thing ever. I'm like, dude, it was the best thing ever for me. You know?
Yeah, they don't know any better.
No.
Right?
No.
Like they know they get to see their grandpa every day, their grandma every day. Right for now, right? We're probably
Your parents live in the front?
Her parents.
Her parents. Okay.
Yeah, so they live in the front house. I was walking out of the house today. My son was already with his grandpa. They're already hanging out.
You know, it's the best thing for them, bro.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And my in-laws are great. Like, I love them. I probably drive them a little bit crazy because I work a lot. But they appreciate it.
I think my in-laws just quit on me, bro. They're like, he works a lot. That's all right.
No, well, I mean, as an in-law, right? Like, you talk about a daughter. Like, they just want you to take care of their daughter, right?
Yeah.
Hey, they know what time I get home every day. They have cameras. Right, I'm never home past like 10 o'clock. Right, I don't drink, I don't smoke. And then like he just works. He just works and spends time with his family. He's at church. Like, what else can they want, right? Like,
you'd be surprised.
they just don't want me to leave stuff around, and that's what I'm like really messy. You know, like that would be it, bro. But
you just create like chaos at work, like good chaos. And then you come and you leave the mess. So
yeah.
Okay,
always. So that's just the way I live my life.
So you've been banking some money.
Yeah.
Living in this little ADU.
Yeah.
Bought your crib, fixing it up. Now you're going to have a very happy wife.
Yeah.
That's cool, dude.
Yeah, that's the plan. It's not our forever home. We want to eventually put an ADU in it and then just rent that out, have that be one of my son's houses, and then move on to the next one.
Think about this, and I think about this about my two kids, bro. So we do construction. We buy houses. I'm actually going to buy another one here in Downey pretty soon. Fingers crossed, off market. And I think about this. I said, okay. I spoke to this guy. He's 55. He owns quite a few rentals. And he was telling me, he's like, bro, I had two kids. They're both in their 30s. Think about your kids. Like, if they can't afford now, it's so hard to afford. Think about when your kids grow up. Like, how unaffordable it's going to be. So if you don't, and I know it's like, oh, I don't want to give them everything. But you do want to kind of give them a little leg up because, bro, we're not, like your house, I don't know what your purchase is at now, but think about when your kids are, it's going to be double.
Yeah.
At least double.
At least.
You know, like it doubles all the time. Like my mom was like, oh, we bought our house for $5. It was like $100,000, bro. And I was like, dude, like, she's like, yeah, interest rates were high. I'm like, yeah, but you bought it at $100,000 and now the property's worth like $700,000.
Yeah. We're worth $1 million. You know, you bought it for $86,000 or whatever.
So I think about that. And he told me, and it was like, oh man, like you need to kind of, not that I'm going to give them everything, but at least have something, kind of what you're saying, like leave something for, like, not for them to have for free, but like, especially the girls, like we have a little girl, right? And it's like, shit, I don't know who she's gonna marry. Was she marry some like bum? At least you have a house so you can kick them out, you know?
Yeah.
Those are things that go through my mind. And I'm like, man, it's.
So right now I'm the bum right now, I guess, because I live in their back house. So, no, I'm kidding.
But you're making the moves, bro.
Yeah. No, I'm
you
kidding.
know, and it's like buying a house isn't easy right now. So how much more power you feel internally you're getting right now from actually purchasing a house and being able to demonstrate that to your clients? Or does it not change anything for you?
So I think it would if I were to put the message out a little bit more. I don't think I do it enough. I don't.
Because a lot of realtors come from empty promises, bro. They don't own anything.
Yes. And that's how I felt for a long time before I bought this house, right? Like, that's how I felt, right? And I'm like, damn, I'm telling people that they should be doing this. And now I actually lived it out in the high interest rate market. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, bro, yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, if I did it, my clients probably should too. And I really believe they should, because there's going to be FHA buyers that are.
Well, you're not talking out of thin air, bro. You're like, you're putting your money behind what you believe in.
Yeah, and I kind of switched my message around a little bit. So now I'm more towards agents, right? I want to attract the right people around me, right? Like, you reached out to me, I see what you do. You're like, hey, you want to jump on this podcast? And I was like, absolutely, because I want to get around the right people. So that's been more of my message recently than to the consumer. I let kind of my partner and them do that. I'm still there. I'm still talking to them, but I just at a different level now.
But I still think, bro, like you buying the house, just me, like, because I didn't start talking about ideas till I actually built one for myself.
Yeah, I can see that.
So now I have power that none of these contractors have. Very few contractors actually build for themselves.
That's true.
So it's like, okay, now I think about you. Maybe you're not talking directly to customers, right? To clients, but like now the message is like, hey, Robert has his own house. I'm a realtor that doesn't have a house. Maybe you're leading from the top because you bought your house. Maybe, hey, I need to buy the house too.
No, I think you're right.
And then they relate that to their customers. You know?
I'm going to have Bernie write that one down so I could remember to push that out because you're right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I need to do that.
Think of like you go to the gym, bro, and the trainer ain't fit. You're going to be like, you know? Like so you're like, you want a fit trainer because then you're like, hey, he's preaching what he's doing.
Yeah. Yeah, because you're like, does it say UFC or KFC?
KFC.
What does it say on that shirt, man?
So that's, I think, just seeing that from what you did, like seeing that on your social media, like, okay, that's
yeah, I appreciate that, man.
That's good, bro. That's good. Where do you see the market going? I know that's $1 million question that really we could.
I wish I really knew. What I do know is that there's still a ton of people my age, right, from that like 27 to 38 that need to buy a home. Right, they're living with their parents. Their parents are probably tired of that. They're tired of that. Their wives is tired. Like same position we're kind of talking about right now, right? So I know there's still a ton of people who need to buy. There's not enough inventory. It comes down to like simple, supply and demand. And if that doesn't get any better, then what's gonna give?
Yeah.
Right. We've seen people lose their jobs, not really doing anything to the market. Like that, the job report's coming out, better for.
I don't believe any fucking report that comes out of the government, bro. Right? I'm sorry.
Yeah, we see that, and it's nothing's happening. Yeah. Like it's not relieving any pressure. And once rates drop, we've seen it in 2021. An average family that had $40,000 could not get into a home because the other family had $100,000 that they can go over above appraised value. They were going to get the house.
Yeah.
Not the people with only 40,000. You think about 40,000, you're like, yeah, that's a lot of money to some people.
Yeah.
Right? So it's like when that happens again, prices would jump up unless we get this big influx of sellers saying like, I can finally sell my house. I just don't see it, man. So it's like there might be people that will never be able to own a home.
Yeah.
And that's where you come in.
Yeah. Build the ADU. And unfortunately, that's what we're getting a lot of. Everybody thinks it's investors. Like obviously, I do have buddies that we build the ADUs that rent them out, right? But a lot of them, it's always grandparents, older kids, wanting to move in just because they could pay a $200,000 HELOC, but they can't go buy a property because it's like, what's a payment on a $600,000 house going for right now?
For like a regular FHA down, you're $600,000. You're probably looking like at $5,000.
5 times 12, that's $60,000, bro. So. You got $60,000, and we're just talking about the payment. You're not talking about utilities. You're not talking, so let's say $70,000 all in, just on the house.
Yeah, you got to have sometimes 2 incomes. Like the majority of the time.
A lot of the times, yeah.
Maybe 3. Somebody else in there. So, yeah, I don't know what's gonna give, and obviously, like there's that battle of like we're becoming a nation of renters, like. That's that battle, right? They talk about that with ADUs. Like they talk about that with all the permits that are being pulled for new construction. A lot of condo, townhome style. Not as many single family homes are being pulled right now for permits. So it's like that's what it's becoming.
I have my 4 close friends, bro. They're all looking for houses. They've been looking since 2021, and they have the funds. And it's just like for one reason or another, they get beat out, and it's just like they gave up. They're like. And so I'm like, no, keep going. Try to get yourself into something, And they're just like frustrated. The wives are frustrated. And it's just like, right now, we just rather rent. Like rent's way cheaper than the mortgage we're going to get right now.
Yeah, because if you think about buying here, like, even in Pico Rivera, $650,000, like we talked about that payment, you're looking at $5,400 payment if you have a lower down payment situation. And it's like, well, I can rent for $33, $35.
A nice 3.2.
3.2. Yeah. Because if you really wanted, let's say, a $5,000 payment, I get you new construction out in Homeland, Paris, And
that's $5,000?
Yes, bro. Yeah.
God.
Yeah. I helped a couple buy a detached condo in Ontario, and their payment's like $5,400.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give you a little brag. When 2021 was COVID. So we're asking, boom, 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 boom.
Oh, yeah.
Bro, I walk by a house, beat up house, and I call the owner. I'm like, hey, you interested in selling? No, I'm not interested. Okay, cool. 80 something years old. He didn't live there. It was like there was squatters in there.
Oh shoot,
Bro. After like a few months, he was so frustrated. He called me. He's like, hey, Eric, you want to buy the property? And I was like, yeah. So he seller financed it to me for a year till I got them out, built the house, built the ADU. So I did all that within like 14 months.
dang.
And this was seller finance. So then I just had so much equity that I just refied into it. Rates were low. So that's how I was able to get into a house like rentals without like putting a big down payment in.
That's huge, man.
At the same time, bro, we got my wife's uncle lived like about 2 miles down further into Downey. The neighbors looking to sell, bro, and they know each other, and they lived in Arizona. So she was like, hey Eric, are you interested in buying it? And I was like, well, let's see what it is. 12,000 square foot lot, big lot, bro. And I had just spent over here, so it's not like I'm just got cash all over the place, you know.
Yeah.
So I had a GMC Sierra, bro. I sold that sucker. I was like, I had paid it off. I was like, let me sell this, and I told her, can you give me? This is when people are going over asking, bro. Remember, dang. She gave me 8 months in escrow, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Over asking. So while I'm in escrow, the prices are just going through the roof, bro.
And is she saying anything?
She was like, I want you, because she had seen us before, because we would always pull up to the uncle's house. Like, my wife's family, it's very small. It's like 3 sisters, and that's it. That's everybody, you know? So she had seen us, so she liked us. She always liked, she's like, I want you guys to keep this house. And so in a matter of like a few months, we got two properties, bro. And this is when the rates were low, things are going over asking. I was like, dude, if somebody ain't taking care of me, I don't know what that is, dude. That's
no,
insane,
I love
bro.
that, man.
So that's how properties have came up for me, bro. Like just random stuff like that.
Yeah, see, and that's kind of how ours came around. But like, I think that's a great example of like you just put the intentionality out there, man. Like if you just put it out there, like I'm gonna find something.
I'm still trying to find something.
Yeah. No, I'm sure you are, but right. And it's just like, how did you find out about seller financing?
Just educating myself, bro.
Really?
With joining courses, mentorships, kind of back to the same thing you're talking about. I've always, I've owned the business for 15 years, bro. Some sort of business, but I've owned business for 15 years. So it's always masterminds, coaching programs, self-help, but not like this foo-foo self-help, like real, like educating myself of who I am, and just knowing that I don't know everything,
Right.
And especially in the real estate world, like you really don't know everything, bro. So like the one I told you right now, it's kind of the one I told you, hey, I might have another deal in Downey. I'm very cool with the owners. She called me. She's like, I'm tired of this property. And I said, okay, cool. They're going through probate right now. So I had to call one of my agent friends, JR. I called him. I'm like, hey, bro, what's up with probate? So he's telling me the whole deal, how it's working. And I'm trying to see how I could tie it up, but it's in probate. So, so it's kind of like, okay, let's see how I could figure this out. What would you recommend in that situation?
I don't do too much probate, bro. Yeah. So I wouldn't even know. Okay. Right. Yeah. And that's going back to like,
what do you know?
I know new construction.
There you go. Yep.
So I know new construction. I know more on the purchase side than sale, I would say.
Yeah.
I've done a majority of that. I could do basic sales and all that. But I'm not that guy. You know what I mean? If you need help with your social media, you need help like actually acquiring leads and all that, I'm that guy.
Yeah.
Right. I'm a marketer with a real estate license. That's all I am. I am, bro. I have this vehicle. I'm a marketer. I know how to bring people in.
Yeah.
And real estate is just that vehicle. So now, like you mentioned, seller financing and all that. Like when you talk about that, I'm like, man, I want to get around that, right? It's like, all right, what kind of relationships? Like you have JR, right? And it's like, all right, well, how can I get to JR and just have a little convo with him? And then now I have something bringing to JR, and maybe he helps me with that, right? Like, so I start thinking about that stuff. But right now, what I have to offer as far as value is the social media side. Like, that's what I do.
Bro, we just closed last month in Lake Arrowhead, a seller finance for 3 years, bro. So I got 3 years. My payment is $1,000 a month.
Oh my gosh.
So it's kind of like, okay, we have people call it a cabin. It's a house up there, right?
Yeah.
It's a house up there. We got to put in some money into it. But I'm like, dude, with these interest rates right now, how am I ever going to get $1,000 payment?
That's insane.
Never.
Did
And
JR, he also help you with that one?
No, that was referred to me by, this is the importance of networking and knowing people. I joined this mentorship. Some guy I became buddies with, and he's a realtor too, Joy. And Joy's like, hey, bro, like we've been buddies over years. His kids go to my son's birthday parties and stuff like that, you know? So he's like, hey, bro, I have this deal. I can't buy it. Do you want it? Obviously, I got to break him off with some money, right? But I was like, yeah, the payments sound good. Seller financing sounds even better. I said, let's do it, dude. So that's literally networking, getting to meet people. Like the whole Brian thing. Now we both know Brian, and it's like he has a course that I could literally just tap in, get commission, and not have to do anything with the course. I'm like, hey, if you guys want to learn about creating a single family home, junior ADU and ADU, these are the guys. Follow this link.
Leverage.
And I can make commission without having to do work on that. And I seen the course. I know them as people. So it's like they're not doing it to make money, bro.
Yeah, Brian and Jared are solid, man. And no, you're absolutely right. I mean, before we had this call, right? I mean, this podcast, you were like, there's something or someone you know that I don't, that I need to know, right? And vice versa. There's something that I know, or somebody I know that you need to know, and that's the beautiful thing of networking, is that you take care of your network partners, and then they're gonna hook you up. They're gonna connect you to this next person.
Bro, I'm always about give. JR wanted to meet somebody. I presented him to this person that I knew, and like he's like, bro, whatever you need, I got you. But I'm always giving first. I never want to like extract info from you, like unless we're doing this type of setting where it's a mutual, type deal. But I don't like taking from people.
No, you
like
have value to give back though, right? So even with Brian and Jared, I did their social media for about 2 months for free. Yeah. I edited their videos. I recorded them. Never asked them for a dime. Not one.
So that's how you got in with them?
That's how I got in with them.
That's cool, bro.
Because I met them and I was like, bro, these guys are millionaires. Yeah. Like, I'm 100,000-aire. Yeah. Like I want to be where they're at. And the first question I asked them was like, how can I help you? Without expecting anything in return. They might not ever connect me to nobody, right? I mean, we're here because of them right now. And I'm okay with that. But I was like, how can I help you? And they're like, we need help with social media. I was like, done. I'm going to record with you. I went out and shot some shorts, edited them for them. I was posting it for them for about 2 months, not expecting anything in return. So it's like, what are other people willing to give up? I'm a busy guy, but I know what a relationship could do for me.
Yeah, they're solid, dude. They're not big on social, but they're solid people.
Yeah, they know, and they know so many people, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so.
No, so going back to helping agents, I know you had an event, right?
Yeah.
So what's the main thing with the event? Are you going to do another event? What's the deal with that?
Yeah, I think we're going to be planning one. We were hoping beginning second week of December. We're probably going to hold off on that right now just because we built a lot of momentum from this first one. Still have a lot of catching up to do with talking to agents and going based, off that. But yeah, we definitely want to hold more events. We want to collab with more agents. Like, I feel like the industry is missing that, right? They're missing that collaboration. Hey, I know this, you know this.
I'll tell you from an outsider, bro, what's wrong with the industry.
Yeah, tell me. I want to hear it.
And I told JR this too. A lot of freaking ego, bro.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, dude. And I think, I've been I told you I own gyms. I think owning gyms and real estate agents, gym owners and real estate agents are there, bro, on the ego. It's like construction, it's not that bad. I could talk to the builders that are my competitors and everybody's pretty cool, bro.
Yeah.
Once you get to know I think we're more standoffish because we don't know if you're going to hustle people or you're the real person, you're really helping people. So that's kind of our little dilemma. But once we're using the same subs or whatever, then all right, they're cool, Yeah. But I think I don't know, agents, it's a lot of who could show off that they're doing better. Not who's actually doing better, but who could show off that they're doing better.
Yeah. No, I agree with that, and I didn't enjoy that about the industry when I first got in it. I didn't. I was like, there's something missing. These people are not genuine. A lot of the times they show up in their suits.
Red bottoms. Don't forget the red bottoms.
They got the Gucci shoes on, right? And it's just but are they really helping people? Are they really successful? You look at these numbers, people sell 1,000 units. But how much are they spending to sell 1,000 units? Are they even profitable, right?
How much are they netting?
That's the key there, right? How much are they actually netting, right? We don't close 1,000 units, but we also don't pay for ads. We don't pay for leads. I don't pay for Zillow leads. It's all organic. Dude. So, I mean, I'm not better than anybody else, but like,
But you know the crazy advantage you have of not paying for leads, and social media. I haven't gotten there yet, but like one of my landscape buddies, he's a contractor. Fucking TikTok pays him a shitload of money, bro. YouTube pays him a lot of money.
That's crazy.
It's like he's literally making $10,000 a month from social media paying him to post.
That's crazy.
When I started in the gym industry, we had to pay for Facebook ads.
Yeah.
And I was dropping, I don't know, $7,000-8,000 a month on Facebook ads.
Yeah.
Back then, bro. So I think about it now. I'm like, wow, social media is paying you to create content. And I'm like, why are people not doing it? It makes no sense to me.
There's a fear, man, that, again, going back to the egos and everything, it's that, like, they're not going to look that great. And somebody's going to judge them for not looking that great or not being.
Dude, how many people judge you?
Yeah, it's really not that many, if you really think about it. And if they do, who cares? I have another 30 posts that are going to go up that week. It doesn't even matter.
Bro, I think every video, because construction is very sensitive, I think every video I get people talking crap. But at the end of the day, I'm thinking like, well, them talking crap, is it more important for me of whatever they think about me or feeding my kids? Or making sure everybody in my family is good, making sure my dad got work, making sure my brothers got work, making sure my mom gets paid. So everybody eats from me making videos.
Yeah, bro, you're a creator.
So I'm like, okay, like, yeah. You don't hit the nail with the hammer. I'm not doing the work. I'm like, okay, what's your point?
I'm thankful for that.
Yeah, I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful to have the team that does support me and says, hey, you're not the nail guy. You're the guy that needs to go bring us customers.
Yeah. Amen to that, man. I love that.
Dude, it's crazy. One last thing you want to let realtors know of what they could do today to start blowing up on social, bro.
Be consistent. Follow a plan. We are nothing special, man. We aren't anything special. We just do it, and we're going to do it more than others. And so if you decide, hey, I want to do the social media, make it easy on yourself. First 2 weeks, post 3 times a week. Next 2 weeks, I'm going to post 5 times. All right, now I'm 4 weeks in, right? I've gotten 16 posts in the last 4 weeks, more than usual. The next 30 days, 1 every day, right? Cool. Now I got, 30 for the day. All right, now go 90 days. Do that. And then once you get to the 90 days, now you're going to know what works and what doesn't, right? Now you're going to get a feel of that. Go to 1, 2, 3. How can you scale to 3? Now find leverage, right? Get a VA, get an editor, get somebody to post for you. Once you get there, right? But start off with 3. And then from there, you'll find out what works. And I think that's the biggest thing is like people, they'll go 6 months and not get much traction. I'm willing to go 2 or 3 years and not get traction because that's how long I waited. And now it works, but it's been 3 years.
Yeah.
So, just don't give up, man. Keep pushing through with the content. And if it's bad content, you'll know it's bad content. And when it's good content, stick to that.
So repeat what went viral.
Repeat what works.
Got it.
Right? Yeah. For us, we haven't changed much from our content in a long time. And I've been thinking about, okay, now we got to get a little bit more creative because the numbers are down a little bit. It's fine. Pivot.
So you start sensing what's like, hey, we got to shift. Got it.
I have a video get 7,000 views. And it gets 23 likes. So it's like, okay, people didn't really like that.
Got it. Right. Yeah. Last question for you, bro. What's the one horror story in this real estate business that you've had? Like the one thing that you're like, damn, I can't believe that even happened.
Horror story.
As an agent.
As an agent, there hasn't been anything super crazy. I think one of them is like, I thought I accepted another offer and I told the agent like, we accepted your offer and it was another agent's offer that we accepted. That was kind of like the worst thing.
You text the wrong agent?
Yeah, I called them. Yeah. So that was like the worst thing. And then one time I walked.
Can you imagine that, bro? This guy calls his client all excited.
Yeah, bro. So I just felt bad there. But another one was, there was like these homeless guys and they're squatting, right? So I had been doing an open house in the city of Almani for a bit. And I was just kept doing it at the same house. And then I walk in and I see glass all over the floor from the back door. And I was like, dang it, somebody broke in. So
they were in there?
So so yes and no, right? So I go into one of the rooms and I see some stuff on the floor or whatever. I kind of left it alone, and then I see two dudes walking from the back of this huge lot. It was a huge lot. They're walking from the alley. They're walking in. I was like, "Hey, were you guys in here?" Like I was calling them out, and they're like, they just stood quiet and they kept walking to the front. They bounced. So I went back in the house to be like, "Yo," like I called the agent. "Hey, you got to get somebody out here, or whatever." And then I'm going, and I was like, "Man, they got a knife like on their shoes," and then it was like this little baggie of drugs. So I go down, and I was kind of like curious, like, what is this bag of drugs? And like as I'm going down, I look to my right, and all I see is toes moving in the closet. And this guy's in the closet, his toes are moving, and I'm like, my heart just drops, and I'm like, dude, this guy's gonna come out right now. And then thank God nothing happened.
You don't mess with the man's drugs, bro.
Yeah, bro. And his toes are just like, and so I was like, all right. I pretended to be on the phone with the agent. I was like, I'm bouncing. Call the cops. Whoever has to come. I gotta go. Bro, I was scared because there was a knife there, drugs, like. Yeah, so that's probably like the worst thing that's ever happened, but nothing really bad came out of it.
Cops get there?
I bounced, bro.
Oh, you literally?
I was like, I told the agent, like, I'm not waiting around. Like, there's somebody in the closet, and I don't like.
Oh, this wasn't your listing. You were the buyer. It wasn't
my listing.
Okay, got it.
I was just holding the open house for an agent.
Got it.
Yeah. So, yeah. I mean, obviously we had some bad escrows, but yeah, that was a crazy one.
Got it. Damn, that's nuts.
Half could just pounced on me, bro.
Yeah. Any questions you have for me, bro, in regards to just ADU space or anything like that?
I mean that's a great conversation. I'm sure we can go into that deeply. But yeah, I think for you is like, how have you been able to scale and get the right people around you? Because you obviously have to get like A players around you to make it work. Like, how have you been able to do that?
Once I find, let's say, a subcontractor and he's good, I don't really compete on price, bro. So like, for instance, I know a lot of contractors compete on the pricing. I say, okay, well, what's my A player charging? Let's say $10. I already add that into my future quotes. Because to me, it's more important the work than the price.
Yeah.
And that's the client I want that cares more about the price. Cares more about the work than the actual price. And same thing with our workers. Like if, let's just say they got paid $200 at the other project a day, at the other business, right? Another contracting business, but he's an A player and he wants to roll with us, I'll pay him $250. So then, like, because I know the quality of work there. But then sometimes you can learn the trades, but you can't learn attitude.
Yeah, it's huge.
So it's always attitude first, bro. And then there's always construction. It's very up and down with people because just the trades themselves, it comes with a lot of vices, drinking, drugs. Like it's very common,
Yeah.
So it's like I gotta be very wary of that. So all my subs that make like nobody drinks on the jobs. I hate that. I don't know why people promote that in the construction, like especially in the Hispanic culture. It's like, oh, drinking on the job. I'm like, no, bro. Like,
yeah,
like you're literally dealing with freaking power tools that could chop off your finger, bro.
Yeah, I had that. I showed up the house and then there's like Bud Light cans. I don't sweat them, but it's like, I don't drink, so you probably shouldn't drink when you're working on my home,
Well, even at that, bro, but let's just say it's your house. They get hurt there.
Yeah.
What happens?
Liability. Yeah.
What happens, dude? So, well, they were drinking. So now it opens up a whole nother can of worms. And then people, it won't happen until it does. And then what? So I think it's that. And it's always a constant thing, bro. It's like you can't just say, I'm done. I got an A player. I'm out. Like, no, you got to keep the relationship going. You got to keep talking to them. Hey, what's going on? Sometimes they have family issues that, it's part of business that you have to give them space to take care of. So it's always nonstop, I think.
Yeah.
That's any business, I think.
Of course. I do have another question for you. I thought about
Go
one.
ahead.
Like, how do you attract clients on socials? Because you do a really good job of doing social media. So is it your call to actions? Is it?
I have zero call to actions, bro.
Really?
It's education.
I
have zero call to actions. I have zero DM me. I have zero of all that. I just put out content, educating people, showing our products, showing what we do, and then people are just interested and they DM me.
That's an interesting approach
So-
because we have call to actions to everything. Multiple.
You're I'm more like honey attracting flies, bro. So they come to me. I don't go out. So then I attract the right customer, which for me has to be very specific. It has to be local, and it has to be somebody that's like more worried about the actual finish and the work than price. It comes back down to that. So somebody that's gonna be shopping me on price, they'll never be my customer. So I don't have call to actions.
That's
It's
crazy.
DMs. So everything goes down in the DMs for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sliding your
A little,
DMs, huh?
a little different, bro.
Yeah,
It's a
that
little
is a different approach
Yeah.
because that's one thing that I would tell realtors is like always have a call to action. But now you're saying this, and I'm like, oh man, like I wonder if we'll get like higher quality people.
Well, think about it, bro. It's like, let's say, I always relate this back to relationships. Like you go out with somebody, like you just give them so much value that they're like, dude, I want that. Like the chick will be like, I want him to be my boyfriend. Why isn't he even ask? And then eventually you do ask, right? But then you got the dude that's always hitting on you, like at the bar right away, is on you. You're like, ugh, like, get away from me. But you guys do provide content, so it's a little bit a blend of both,
Yeah, we do. I think we do a decent job of doing like the jab hook, like Gary talks about. So he talks about jabbing, and then hooking.
I just jab.
Yeah.
I just jab. You think I'm hooked? Now I'll jab again. I might hook on contractors.
Okay.
Like once that, like a course.
I wonder, like maybe test it. Like, okay, I got jab. Like maybe hook once.
But we're getting so much, like,
Yeah.
like I don't need to do a hook because I'm getting just so much already. Like,
Yeah.
If I do a hook, I think I'll overflow what I like. It'll be
I'm pretty
too
mind
much.
blown right now. Yeah, that's crazy. That's really good. That means you're doing something really, really, really right, bro.
And then it's actually like there's customers that don't work with us, bro. They don't work with us. They go work with somebody else, but then they come back and they're like, hey, thank you for all the content you provide. I was able to make sure the ADU went smooth. I'm cool with that.
Yeah, no, we get that all the time too. Yeah.
So it's cool. So it's a win-win for the industry, I think, and it's a win-win for me.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a good person, man.
So that's
you're better than I am right now on the call to action. I'm thinking about like, man, we do a lot of call to actions, bro.
It's just different, bro. And like I tell you, it's very our business is very snipered, where your business is you could go wider, I think.
Yeah.
Because our quality control. That's why we have to be more sniper. Because these bigger companies that are like, oh, we do 100, 300 ADUs a year. It's like, yeah, but the quality's less.
Yeah, it's kind of like a builder, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I've seen some of the build finishes, and you're like, damn, dude, like that's new. I'm sure you've seen it.
Yeah, I'm not on the field too much, but yeah, I've seen some. It's like there's like tape everywhere. It's like things need to be fixed,
Oh, the blue tape.
Yeah, the blue tape. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's it, bro. We just
That's interesting, man.
Social media and just give.
Good,
and
bro.
Then,
I love that.
Then it comes automatically.
Yeah, and you're right. Yeah, the more you give, the more it'll come.
Cool, bro. Any last thing you want to say? Where could people find you on social?
Yeah, Robert Bear Cedeno. So like a oso, right?
Oso,
But
Bear.
it's Bear. Yeah, so it's my son's middle name. That's probably the best place to reach me at. You could DM me there. Find us on YouTube, living in Southern California. That's our YouTube. And then, yeah, man, I think that's it. Any final thoughts? Probably find something that works for you and just commit to it. Because at the end of the day, it's going to pay off.